very much for coming down for the press meet for Food for Change. A little brief that I would like to give you all about Food for Change, the black tie charity event that we do. FFC has been a tremendous success in the last 7 editions since its inception was done in the year 2013. We have wherein all the leading star hotels in Hyderabad come together and host a sumptuous feast, among which we have 800 well-known industrialists, high-ranking bureaucrats, corporate CXOs and high net worth guests of Hyderabad who attend FFC, contributing significantly towards the cause. Also, I would like to inform that Food for Change is the primary fundraiser through which we raise funds to execute the projects which are taken by Project 511, bringing together all our donors, partners, associates, volunteers and roundtablers on a night of giving really energizes us, and we hope to elevate lives of many more children year after year.
The Continental Coffee, we have been associated with this event for some time and it also goes well with our CSR philosophy. We have been very closely associated with education and not only providing education to the needy but also upliftment of education. How can we provide better and better education to the needy? And we do a lot of work around our principal factories and make sure that we are actively participating. Therefore, a platform like Food for Change is actually in sync with our philosophy, and it's a matter of pride and privilege to be part of something like this. And we look forward to this event, and more importantly the work that will happen post the event. And as a team we would like to kind of not only be contributing as a sponsor but also contributing with hands and feet for this whole exercise. So thank you once again, and we'll look forward to the whole event and the work thereafter. Thank you once again.
My association with Project 511 began much before I became the chairman of this organization, by virtue of being part of a member of Hyderabad Roundtable 8. 511 was started in the year 2003 with the whole purpose being to provide basic facilities to students going to government schools. Back then, the number of schools were 511 in Hyderabad and Secunderabad, which gave birth to this name, Project 511. With the support of the state government, various donors, fellow tablers, present and past, this number now has gone from 511 schools to 1300 schools, impacting close to 2 lakh children across the state. When the project was initially started, there were 6 initiatives that were focused upon. Namely, we would provide blackboards, we would provide benches, we would provide toilet blocks, science labs, teaching and learning material, and matriculation. Till date, we've built about 150 classrooms, provided about 7,000 blackboards, 30,000 benches, 300 science labs, and about 800 teaching and learning material, and about 700 toilet blocks. Thereafter, in the last 2 years, we've added 2 other initiatives to this organization. One is the digital learning program, and the digital learning program is a method by which we do away with the traditional method of teaching. We move away from the blackboards, the books, and get the children used to or educated through the more technologically advanced methods of teaching. We've provided about 30 classrooms in 17 schools with this DLP, and we intend reaching this to about 1,000 classrooms in the next 5 years. This program has been well taken by most of the schools that we have gone into, and we're hopeful that in the next 5 to 10 years, all the schools, the government schools in the state would adopt to this program. The other initiative that is in the pipeline is the school building exercise, which we would be building an entire school on par with the Kendriya Vidyalayas or the private schools, and giving the children going to government schools an experience close to that of a private school. In fact, just before I got onto stage, I was told that we are the first organization to come up with the digital learning program in government schools. I'm grateful to be part of this organization and this magnificent event, FFC. We intend to set standards high enough and inspire other institutions and NGOs to work closely for the betterment of our society and help the students achieve success. Thank you.
I had the proud privilege of being the first Governing Council Chairman of Project 511. And as a chairman, I got to see what it meant to have a blackboard or a toilet. You know, for most of us, we take schooling and the amenities in a school for granted. You know, for us, we've been blessed to go to good convent schools, private schools, where basic amenities are all there. We've got the best of education. But you know, there are several government schools are not as fortunate. You know, as a chairman, we used to make regular visits to schools, and I can tell you 3 or 4 instances which are fairly sad. So, you know, we went to the school in NBT Nagar, which had one room. It's a school, but it had only one room. And in that room, there were 4 classes happening parallelly. So one class will look northwest, the other class will look southwest, the third class will look northeast. So this was one room which had 4 classes simultaneously happening. That is when we decided to build schools. We were doing schools, but then we decided to build a proper school there. Now it's a 3-storied building with about 1,500 students there. Then we went to a school, all of us know, in Abbott's, heart of the city, Mehboobiya Girls' School. There were 1,000 students with 4 toilets. Look at the proportion. Look at you're supposed to have 1 toilet for 30 students, whereas a 1,000 student school had 4 toilets. So that is how dire the situation was in some of these schools. Then the reason why we went aggressively after blackboards was several schools did not even have a blackboard. There was a wall painted black and people used to write on those walls, young students. That was their blackboard. So we can come up with several stories, but this was the situation when we thought there is a dire need for physical infrastructure. So Project 511 went aggressively after blackboards, toilets and seating. When it came to seating, we did a school in Bashirabad, which is very close to Tandur. There were, for a seat meant for 3 students, there were 6 students sitting on that. Obviously, the child was concentrating more to get his place on the seat than to concentrate on the blackboard. So all these stories are, really sad stories, but we have come a long way. Project 511 has done its little bit to put more infrastructure in schools. We are proud to say we are working in more than 1,300 schools, and we are very, very proud of all the sponsors and partners. That is the reason why I call you heroes. For a kid who has no toilet to go, there is a statistics which said that 30% of girls in the high school from 8th, 9th and 10th were dropping out because of lack of toilets. We all know girls have their own challenges growing up. So 30% of the kids were dropping out. So for them a toilet was mandatory. So the reason why I call all of you heroes as because you're providing money to build toilets, to build blackboards, to provide furniture. So I think all of you are putting in your best hand to provide infrastructure. And before I sign off, we also do a lot of teaching and learning material in schools. In 2018, there was a study which said that class 8 students in rural India can read only a class 2 textbook. Sad statistics, 73% of students in class 8 can only read a class 2 textbook. So I think we are all doing our bit to improve the quality of education, to improve the physical infrastructure in education. And Project 511 would wholeheartedly like to thank all the sponsors and partners for putting their hand up. Thank you very much.
Project 511 and Food for Change is something which, to my mind, has created an environment where a huge amount of positive change in the learning and teaching experience that students have has been created. I've been in teaching and as a teacher for close to 30 years now, and there's absolutely no doubt that education is the one game changer in people's lives. You can see that. It is fairly logical that even the people who come and assist us at home with work, they may or may not do anything else. They may raise money from wherever they have to raise, but they will send their children to school. Why? Why do they dig so deep, put in so much effort, raise loans, all to send their children to good schools? I'm sure all of us have had experiences where people have come and said, I need this 10,000 rupees, I need this 15,000 rupees because I want to change my child's school. This school is not good, he's not learning anything. I want to send him to a better school. Project 511, FFC and all of you, thank you so much for creating those better schools. I think that is one thing which the kind of impact that has happened and continues to happen is where we are facilitating that change. From a position where girls would drop out of school because there weren't enough toilets and they couldn't manage the whole day without even a toilet in school, to a situation where it's such a small initiative on the one hand. We just take it for granted that there will be a toilet, but there isn't. They can't manage, and sometimes it is easier not to go to school than to go through that torture all through the day. These are the changes that we have created. This is the contribution that all of us are making. Sometimes we forget in the whole process of fundraising that the aim is not fundraising. The aim is the impact that the fundraising makes. And I just want us to realize to ourselves what a huge change we make. I just shared one more small story of a student I had the pleasure of interacting with from a small town in Telangana. At some point of time, she came in touch, learned, benefited, got into a good course, and somewhere made it as an engineer. All these little things that helped her along the way, she rolled through and finally got a job in one of our many software companies, Wipro or Infosys, or one of these people gave her a job. Sometime later, she dropped in to say thank you. There were virtually tears in her eyes. No joke. She just made one point. Sir, I don't know how proud I am to say it, but today, mine is the only car in the entire village, in the entire town. Mine is the only car. My father is a postman and he has ridden this bicycle all his life. He is so proud and so happy that his daughter has made it to this. I'm sure we've all heard of these stories, we all know of these things that have happened. But when I started by saying that education is a game changer, that is the food for change. That is the change we are making. Thank you all so very much for being partners in this change that we are trying to bring about. We believe that there are miles and miles to go before any of us can sleep. There's so much more to be done. We've scratched the surface, but we promise to scratch harder and harder till we start making even greater impact. I'm sure we will, as a team, make the change that we endeavor to make. Thank you all so very much. Thank you.
I think I'm from the Parkite, Hyderabad. First, thank you for giving such inspiring stories and making such a big change. We are glad to be a part of this movement that you guys are creating here. And me and my team at Parkite are very happy and that we are aligned and we are a part of this beautiful cause that you are making it happen. And I'm looking forward to a very successful event. Thank you.
I'm Meenakshi and I handle marketing and communications at AVASA. We have been a part of Food for Change and Project 511 since the beginning, which is a noble cause for underprivileged students. We're extremely happy to be a part of this event and to help make a change. We will be serving contemporary Asian cuisine from Om, which is a restaurant at Avasa Hotel, Thank you.
Well, I'm Arokia from JRC Conventions and Trade Fairs. Our Chairman Director, Mr. Janardhan Reddy, and his wife, Indrama Reddy. His son, architect, Mr. Manor Reddy, and his wife, Miss Sheila Reddy. So we are into a family who believes in for the work of the betterment of the children and plus the people who are residing in the villages, and also we believe in giving the charity which we've been doing for ages together, right from almost like 50 to 60 years. So we are associated with Food for Change since almost 7 years, and it is immense pleasure for us that we have been associated with the Food for Change. And we also have pleasure to have all the hotels with whom I work together, showcasing the delicious food every year in a different way and culinary arts. So I take this beautiful opportunity and thank you each and everyone for the support what we are having since 7 years, and we will do the best for this year also. Very all the best. Thank you.
I'm from NOVOTEL Hyderabad Convention Center. It's a great privilege to be part of FFC, and we'll be focusing mostly on Pondicherry and French cuisine because it has a lot of French heritage 300 years ago. It still has, anybody has been to Pondicherry, it resembles French and the Pondicherry cuisine. So we'll be focusing on this cuisine, and thanks again to be a part of this very prestigious event. Thank you very much.
This Project 511, I'd like to just remember one of our friends, Shantaram, tabler friend. It was his idea that we should do something like this. He was so passionate about it. I'm sure even he wouldn't have dreamt that we would have come this far. Thank you, Shantaram, and thank you all the tablers from then on who made this such a fantastic event. Like one of our tablers was saying, we started small from little schools and little problems, and now Vivek was saying that we plan to build a school, a government school on par with any regular private school. And that's our dream of getting one school ready. Maybe in the next 2 years we'll get it ready. But our dream will be really fulfilled. It's not a dream, it's sort of mandatory that every child in India should have that right of studying in a proper school. You cannot make a distinction just because he's poor that he can't go to a good school. I think it's the government's responsibility, and all of us are responsible to see that each child is given education on par with the others. There should not be any discrimination in education, and that's the day this Project 511 will be sort of done, where we get that done. And for that, we as a table will work. I'm sure many other round tables and many other organizations who already are there in education will try and make this dream true. I want to thank all the sponsors who are here this year: Continental Coffee, Veer Kemi, who's our tabler and sponsor, Vijay Shri, Natco, MYK Laticrate, My Home, and Unicorn Natural Products. All the hotels, lovely food. Good you mentioned what you're making also. This event is going to be held on 29th at JRC Convention Center. Like how Project 511 was the first of an NGO event for working on schools, this Black Tie event is also a very, very well organized, very attractive event. So we wish all of you come there and have a great time. Thank you all.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. ప్రాజెక్ట్ 511 అనేది 2003లో మేము స్టార్ట్ చేసాం, హైదరాబాద్ రౌండ్ టేబుల్ 8. దీని వెనుకున్న ఐడియా ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు ఉన్న స్కూల్స్లో ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఇంప్రూవ్ చేస్తే అక్కడ చదివే పిల్లలకి చాలా డ్రమాటిక్ చేంజ్ వాళ్ళ లైఫ్స్లో ఉంటుందని. ఇనిషియల్గా క్లాస్ రూమ్స్లో బ్లాక్ బోర్డ్స్, టాయిలెట్స్, టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ మెటీరియల్స్, మెట్రికులేషన్ పేపర్స్, సైన్స్ ల్యాబ్స్, బెంచెస్ సెట్ చేసాం. ఆ తర్వాత ఫస్ట్ 511 స్కూల్స్లో స్టార్ట్ చేసి ఇప్పుడు 1300 స్కూల్స్ పైన ఈ ఇనిషియేటివ్ ఉంది. 2 లక్షల పిల్లలు దీనివల్ల ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్గా దే డూయింగ్ వెల్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దట్. ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఫుల్ స్కేల్ స్కూల్ ఈ పిల్లలకి ఆన్ పార్ విత్ ప్రైవేట్ స్కూల్స్ రెడీ చేయాలని దట్స్ ద ప్లాన్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ 511 నౌ. అండ్ ఆఫ్ లేట్ డిజిటల్ లెర్నింగ్ ల్యాబ్ స్టార్ట్ చేసాం. ప్రతి క్లాస్ రూమ్, ప్రతి స్కూల్లో ఒక డిజిటల్ లెర్నింగ్ ఫెసిలిటీని ఏర్పాటు చేశారు. ఇదంతా ద సొసైటీ హెస్ బీన్ కమింగ్ ఇన్ ఫర్ ఈ ఈవెంట్కి. ప్రతి సంవత్సరం వీ కండక్ట్ దిస్ ఈవెంట్. ఈ లాస్ట్ 2 years కోవిడ్ వల్ల చేయలేదు. ఇది రేపు 29th October GRCలో జరుగుతుంది. ఇట్స్ ఎ వెరీ వెరీ పాజిటివ్ ఇనిషియేటివ్. చాలా ఈజీగా పీపుల్ కాంట్రిబ్యూట్ టు దిస్ ఈవెంట్. మాకు మల్టిపుల్ స్పాన్సర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. ఈ సంవత్సరం కాంటినెంటల్ కాఫీ, వీర్ కెమి, నాట్కో, విజయశ్రీ, యూనికార్న్ అండ్ మై హోమ్, దే ఆర్ స్పాన్సర్స్. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇక్కడ ఆ రోజు హోటల్స్ మేక్స్ స్పెషల్ ఫుడ్ ఫర్ అస్. వాళ్ళు కూడా దే కాంట్రిబ్యూట్ ఫర్ ఫ్రీ. We have AVASA, the Park Hyatt, Radisson and NOVOTEL. So 4 of them also come. And even the event partners, JRC Convention Center, Hybiztv and others are also part of this whole event. This Hyderabad Round Table 8 initiative. This Round Table movement lone one of the premium NGO activities that go on in India. India mottham chala tabling movement lone idi chala popular. Thank you so much.